Easy one. What'd you get out of the bye week? Were you happy with the time off, the rest, the production, the work, all that stuff?
Yeah, open weeks are always challenging a little bit on the mental side as you're trying to get healthy. You're trying to give them a break, but you still have things you want to do. I was pleased, especially with younger players that haven't played a lot. We're able to give some extra work and looking at them. I think our overall disposition and things are kind of, I'll say, like when you walk into a team meeting when the volume's a little louder than some days, that was good. I thought we practiced last night, moved around well. You could see that, and they're anxious to get back at it. So holistically, we're in a recruiting meeting right now, recapping our travels and things like that because we didn't get guys back until yesterday. So all in all, I thought it was productive, but you'll never know until you kind of see how it plays out here the next month.
Whether you're talking physical or mental health, do you get the sense that your guys are kind of refreshed heading into this home stretch?
I do. I know a lot of people. Again, I didn't go back and research and didn't ask anybody to, but I don't know. I mean, there are other teams that didn't play this weekend, but I don't know how many more have their first off Saturday or so of the year this late. So I think it did us some good, and seeing where we're at and trying to get a little healthier and things. It seems like you gain one, lose one, or something, but I think we're getting there.
What gets your attention about a score in a game like the K-State Oklahoma State game?
Yeah, you got to take that. First of all. I sent a text to Chris Kleinman Saturday night and how impressed I was and congratulated him because that's an impressive performance and, with a backup quarterback and things like that. And as you said, it's kind of like Jason Bean a little bit. It's great to see young men who have started games and then didn't start, that not to make this about them, but they've stuck with it and stuck with the program, and I think that's good to see. But if you spend too much time in comparative scoring or things like that, sometimes things just get away from you. You've got to, I think they're banged up, and like a lot of people are. Don't want to take away at all from the performance of Kansas State and the way they're playing right now, but it was a pretty convincing win. And which also kind of goes back to, it's like the third game in a row for us that we're playing a team that's kind of had that type of, maybe some things go against them or a negative type setting, and which adds to the challenge because Mike Gundy's an excellent football coach, and he's been doing this a long time. And that's an excellent program. It played for a conference championship last year, and they'll get healthy, they'll get it corrected, and they'll come in here ready to play. And we have to make sure we match that intensity because we know what got away from us very quickly down in Stillwater last year.
What do you expect from the home crowd, the environment? It's been a few weeks, and
well, I hope we'll have another great crowd. We need a great crowd. I think again, I hope at the future of this program, and as we continue to work to build winning consistently in this program, that it's not undefeated records that get us to fill this place, because that'd be a lot of non-filled stadiums across college football, and I still hope that. People are excited, and though the wins of late haven't been there, but what do I want to say? The competitive nature of this football team for 4 quarters is something that I hope our fans are respecting and enjoying, and will want to come out and support. I wasn't going to say this, but I had a feeling you were going to ask, so I'm going to say is that one of our assistants talked to one of the opposing coaches of one of the 3 sellout games we had, and they talked about the fact that they did not prepare for crowd noise, and it was a factor in the game. So to think that our fans can make a difference, 100%, absolutely, and we need them there.
Lance, you referenced recruiting. It's just, how do you feel about what you all accomplished on the recruiting trail in these, last week?
That's what we're reviewing right now. And when you, I say this a lot, and it's not always about yes, they fit. It's maybe no, they don't. And getting eyes on players and watching them play, or some guys that have maybe popped up, you haven't been seen, are they really 6'4", and things like that. So, so that's what we're I think. But again, so anytime you're out there, it's highly beneficial. I think it's beneficial for us to be in as many places as we were, and we were in a lot of places all over the country. So I think it's good. I think it's been good to see. It's exciting to see that, high school coaches and people have taken notice that this program has definitely made big strides.
You mentioned the practice model you guys have and getting younger players more reps. Mm-hmm. Did anyone in particular catch your coaching staff's attention?
Yeah, I appreciate you. It would, if when I mention one, I forget somebody, and then they're going to read your tweet, and then I've got somebody that's disappointed, and I don't want to do that. But there's some guys, and again, I'll give you one name because you need, just because I'm in a good mood today. A guy like Kobe Baines, who reported late. Okay, this is a chance to get Kobe a lot of work and try to get him caught up because he's going to have to help us sometime. And so there's one example of somebody, Ethan Vasco. Okay, I gave you two. All right, but that continue. But I don't want to go into guys that maybe are redshirting or something because I'm going to forget somebody.
Compared to last year, how nice is it that a lot of those true freshmen can have a week like that and not have to worry about playing, and have those guys have their practices and not have to worry about on Saturday playing a game or things like that?
Oh, it's big, and that's why finding a way to get to bowl eligibility and get to a bowl game is very important for this football program. It's the extra practices and development. It's not the banging around. It's the time, the work, the confidence, the experience, the going against the speed, all those things that you want. And many times that the teams that are in those things, those games consistently have a tendency to keep that gap wider on programs that don't. And last week is another example of when you do get those practices at this stage, you can kind of get back to some fundamentals and get back to the things that you really want to emphasize.
And with Jalen, over the course of the bye week and heading into Saturday, how much was he able to do last week, and what is his status like this week?
He's practicing. He's doing some things. That's about again, you've had a few days to recreate your questions, and that's good. He was out there yesterday, and we'll see. And that probably goes for Kobe and others. So, see, I gave you another one you didn't even ask. Yeah.
Any other questions? All right. We're getting close to honors time. How have the seasons of Earl Bostic and Kenny Logan been to what you expected and what they've contributed?
Kenny always continues to impress me of how hard he plays the game, how consistent he's played. It's almost, you don't want to get to a point of taking that for granted. And again, like last week was really good for Kenny Logan. Because he needed that, and because every Monday, Tuesday, there's something on the injury report that has that he's trying to heal up and get himself to a point by Thursday that he's feeling good. So I think he's played extremely well for us. He was calling me Saturday morning, talking about, I think, again, that's, when Kenny gets that, he can't be away that long. He gets antsy again, and he's ready to get back out there and go. So, again, there. Earl continues to play well for us. You know, the interest that he's getting from the next level. And there's amount of people that keep coming around and evaluating him because guys his size and with his athleticism are hard to find. And he continues to progress, and we want him to finish this thing very strong, as you know, because we need him to.
Meant to ask this last week, but against Baylor, Marvin Grant had a really productive game.
Mm-hmm.
From your perspective, I guess, what does his progression look like, and what have you liked about what you've seen from him the last 3 weeks?
I think Marvin's feeling more comfortable in our system and the calls and ads. You know, the one thing as he's learned it, kind of thing, you know, Marvin's not the most outspoken guy, so we're trying to get him as a safety to be a little more vocal and confident in what he's doing, so it gets relayed. But as you can see, Marvin's not afraid to play, be physical, and you know, and get in the mix on things. And yeah, I thought he played his best game of the year at Baylor. And again, rotating some with OJ is something that we'll continue to do. And again, that's a nice three-player rotation. Although Kenny, you know, like a lot of guys do, you know, don't want to come off the field, but at times we try to say, especially against some up-tempo teams, and if the snap counts are going to be up there in a game, there's some times that we want to make sure that Kenny has a chance to be the freshest he can in the fourth as well. So all three of those guys have you know, done a good job.